Welcome back. Let's continue on our journey through time, on our journey around the globe, and on our journey of discovery of so many fascinating things that are right in front of us, but we don't see them. People walk past enormous buildings, enormous, wonderful places. They don't see them. How come? This is where Zen comes in. What is Zen? Why did I begin showing our heaven on earth and talking about our Zen paradise? What is it? So let's go back over time to ancient India, thousands of years ago, where there was something called yoga, a path, a journey to betterment, to discovery, to connectivity. The idea that people have of yoga, twisting bodies and having the perfect body, it's a journey to enlightenment. In India, people do not say, I invented this, I discovered this, I was the one. There's a lot of humility and honesty. Why? The Indians know no one invented yoga, the Vedas, the sacred books. They were given to us by enlightened beings. They were presented to humanity through India. No one invented anything. The enormous temples in India, the Sun Temple, Ellora temples, no one says, I built them and this. Some archaeologists say it was built in that empire, in that they have no clue. They have been there for millennia. People came and started living there, starting using those constructions as their forts, as their abodes. They didn't build it. We have to be honest. Time goes by. People come, people go. Places are abandoned. Angkor Wat in Cambodia was recently discovered by Europeans a few centuries ago, where the forest had completely swallowed up the immense, gigantic city. One temple has thousands of temples around it. It's an unimaginable construction. And people think that it was built 1,000 years ago, whatever. It has been there for millennia. It has been constructed with very, very advanced technology. There are creatures depicted on the walls of millions of years ago that do not exist anymore. We have all kinds of unbelievable things. We just have to investigate with intelligence and open our eyes and spend some time, due diligence, do your homework, and people will be shocked but surprised when they discover that, wow, it's 100 times more interesting than we imagined. Just like some of the Indian temples which have been carved from the mountain. A perfect temple, unimaginable, and it was created top down, and no one knows what happened to the granite that was dug out. No one wants to talk about it. Oh, it's nice, it's interesting, but let's not talk about it, because it makes our science of today very, very weak. There are references of immense cataclysms caused by weapons in the past. in the Indian epic tales of Ramayana around 10,000 years ago at least, or the Mahabharata around 5 to 7,000 years old at least, and in many, many other texts. Immense destruction. It's not discussed. And the Europeans consider all of that myths and legends, myths and legends. When we begin to globe-trot around the world and travel through time and realize that the windows that have been given have been windows that are supposed to fit in to the Christian Bible and then fit into the concept of architecture that exists today. And these enormous monuments are outside of whatever people can do today. We have 1,000-ton blocks that cannot be carried today. How did these people transport and put these thousands and thousands of tons of blocks into the monuments? No one wants to talk about it. So, what has this to do with Zen? Yoga, dhyana yoga. It's a kind of yoga where you learn to focus, to pay attention. Dhyan means pay attention. Don't blink, don't look here. No monkey mind. We've talked about that. No jumping from branch to branch and thinking you know, presumption, assumption, certainties. Just keep watching. Do not judge. Do not jump to conclusions. Let the dust settle. And the posture of meditation is to help you stay focused. Stay focused. Is that possible? There is no learning without the capacity of focusing. You think you know, but it ain't so. And the things that you should know, you end up, it's too difficult. I don't remember. I didn't understand because you were not still. You were not quiet. And when the dust settles, you discover, I got it. But you have to learn to tame yourself, tame the beast, the monkey that's inside your mind. So you can learn to watch, to look, to see, and to connect and discover. It takes time. It's not something that people will tell you, oh, it's in 5 steps to enlightenment, 7 hours to making $1 million. We have talked about that. It's called scamming. If you want to learn how to learn how to control your attention, to understand things, to see through the fog, you have to learn to concentrate. You have to learn to focus. And you have to learn to not make any judgments, no presumptions. And slowly you will begin to understand. Dhyana yoga was practiced over thousands of years in ancient India. Then, when we had the era of global trade after the reign of Ashoka, 500 to 1,000 years before the contemporary era. So we're talking about 3,000 to 2,500 years ago. All of India became a global center for trade. It was tropical. It was prosperous. It had peace. The concepts of harmony and peace were being spread out. People were coming from all over the world, from Greece, from China, from Eastern Africa, from Southeast Asia, to study at the Indian universities. There were fantastic universities of India over 2,000 years ago. And some Chinese came, became monks, and after 10, 20 years, went back to China with the sutras, with the sacred texts. And they brought Dhyana Yoga to China. It became Chana Yoga. Dhyana Chana. Just like Dios became Zeus, and then became Theos, and then Dios. Dhyana became Chana. And after a few centuries and centuries and centuries of cooking in China, cooking means that they're getting to know what it is. When we post a video, the AI in YouTube is cooking the video. It's beginning to smell it, to understand it. It gets to know a little bit more. So in the Chinese culture, they already had an open mind because of Taoism, because of Tao Te Ching. They had Tai Chi. They had a peaceful way of living with nature. And they loved the concept of dhyana. Stillness, trying to understand. It's not about being better, the greatest, or hiding and cheating and lying and fooling. It's about really trying to understand things by improving, by getting better and smarter, improving your concentration. And Japanese monks came to China to study at the Chinese monasteries which were practicing jhana yoga. And they took it to Japan in the 16th century as Zenana yoga, and then Zenana, and then Zen. With time, with pronunciation, Dhyana yoga became Jhana yoga, became Zenana yoga, became Zen. And it merged with the Japanese culture of the samurai, of ninjutsu, of kendo, and it, like a virus, entered into Japanese society, into Japanese culture, like Jhana Buddhism came into Chinese culture, like Dhyana yoga came into Indian culture. But that doesn't mean that everybody in India or China or Japan practice Zen. Not everybody appreciates and values its importance. Not everybody has access. It's one of the reasons why I have decided to share 55 years of knowledge, of insights, of experiences, of value with everybody. Because it's difficult for people to go to the monastery. All you have to do is click and begin to understand. Because the real monastery is called life is the world. You don't have to go to a monastery. You have to open your eyes, your mind, your heart, and understand that this is where it is. This is where it's at. It's Zen. We have the globe, we have books, but first of all, get set. Open your eyes and look around you. There is no need to go to the farthest corners of the universe because everything is inside us. All you have to do is access the source, access knowledge. So the concept of Zen, dhyana, is learn to focus, control your ego. Don't jump to conclusions. Try to understand step by step. Be humble, be simple. The white belt, the beginner's mind. We are all beginners. As you access what's happening, you begin to understand there's a sequence. There's a consequence. And it gives you control. Your agitated monkey mind begins to calm down. Your brain senses everything's under control. It's okay. There's no need for adrenaline, testosterone. There's no need for war, for anger. The brain says, my client, my body, is relaxed. And the mind that he is constructing inside me is developing. So the brain has a mind to guide it, to program it in a better way. So we have the brain, the mind, the body, and the source, which is sending in all kinds of positive vibrations. And why not? Ideas. Things are downloaded. We have to stop saying, I invented, I discovered, I did this, No. If you are open, things come to you. If you're humble, more things come to you and better things come to you. And if you're grateful, thankful, if you count the blessings, then you receive from the source a divine shield of protection, a divine channel where things are downloaded constantly. There is no problem in admitting that, Eureka, what an idea I received, not I invented. Zen is not a religion. It's not even a philosophy. It's just a way of living, taming the beast inside, educating the monkey in the mind, in the brain, so that the mind can live in the brain. Too many monkeys, the brain gets confused. You get rid of the monkeys, put them in the zoo, the mind says, okay, there's space for me. Everything that is happening is constantly changing. It's called dynamics. Things are happening. It's chaos. It's complex. It's complicated. It's faster. More and more things are becoming more complex. Either you understand them or you will be swallowed up. The tsunami of information, of tasks, of bills to pay, of things to do is swallowing up everybody. It's called busyness. The routine of busyness, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. No time for pausing, thinking, reflecting. How can you correct yourself? How can you work on yourself? How can you understand things if you're over busy, too busy, busy all the time? So, society has become an idiocracy. Too many people saying too many things without thinking, without studying, without doing research and investigation. Everybody wanting. People have bills to pay because they're desiring. Marketing and propaganda is filling people's minds and lives with things, most of which they don't need. And they're having to work to pay for these things. Everybody's in debt. The governments are in debt. Companies are in debt. It's a mad world. Everybody's going crazy, or they're already crazy. If you're not normal, you don't see crazy people. Crazy people do not recognize themselves. And when a person is normal, they ignore them because it's complicated when you see a normal, calm person. People get irritated. Paradise, heaven, is not a planet where you die and then you have free food, free accommodation, free Disneyland tours. It's unbelievable that people really think like that. But they have been programmed, they have been framed, they have been anchored. So everybody's trying to, and hoping that one day They can go to a wonderful Disneyland where all they have ice cream and hamburgers and walking around seeing Mickey Mouse. The concept of heaven on earth in Zen, in the Indian culture, is you create your paradise by being nice, kind, and gentle, and having a healthy, happy, harmonious environment that's clean, having no headaches, no diseases, no sickness, opening your mind, opening your heart, having nice people around you. No necessity for fancy cars, fancy watches, fancy sunglasses. Just a safe, nice environment. This is heaven on earth. And if you have antiques, books, plants, birds, better. Heaven on earth, paradise, is a safe house, safe place, safe haven, where you can live in peace. Thousands and thousands of years ago, India was already full of people, like the world is full of people. The rest of the world, there was almost nobody. People expanded out of India and China. So today we are living in the mess, the great mess that was already happening thousands of years ago in India. And they discovered and realized that Zen, meditation, relaxing, opening your mind, your heart to life, to thinking, and not necessarily having so many things. Practicing minimalism so that you have more time for personal development, for thinking. So what is Zen? It's getting rid of the mess. The table is clean, so I can think what I have to do, what is the priority. I don't have to look at 101 different things and panic. The home is clean. You don't come in and bang into this and fall here and so many things. Everything is organized, everything is simplified, everything is clean. The concept of a clean environment. It's not getting irritated constantly because there's so many things to do, so many things here, because everything's a mess. People have become a mess. The mind is a mess. Your life is a mess. People do not prioritize. People do not organize. So the concept of Zen is not a religion, a philosophy, or nothing like that. It's just a way of tidying up your mind, your home, your table, yourself. Eliminating all the craziness and simplifying so you have a few good healthy habits. Not eating everything that people offer, just simplifying. Fruits and seeds and nuts and plants. Not saying all the time, being quiet. And when you say, it's because you have something really important to say. And spend the rest of the time listening and thinking. It's a way of getting out of the maze of modern life. It's a way of downsizing so that you can connect. Zen is about cleaning up, downloading all the trash. And so you are able to rejuvenate. Please subscribe, get in touch if you need us, and thanks for watching.